Okay, that's good. Do we have... We do. Taco Bell. Nice. And then we'll pull this up. So we've got a no tape. We got no tape. See, everything moves. Everything goes from that side over to this side. So I need this guy, and I do need door covers. I got them all nicely laid out on that side. But probably what's gonna happen is, oh, I do have a door cover. Shit. Well, there we go. Give it a minute, give it a minute. We're gonna start taping up some seals. We got felt seals on this. There it is. There it is. And then, oh yeah, we can start this one. Start. Go. On the tubby. What's up, guys? I'll leave it for a second. Let's just start taping first. So we got a Jeep Compass. We're gonna be doing the whole thing in ceramic. We want to do a 40 on the windshield, a 20 on the front doors, and a, wait for it, 20 over the factory, so we have a 5% on the rear. Key is on the other side. So now we can start this. Activate. No, let's do it again. If the chat doesn't pop up, there we go. Chat popped up now. Now we should be good. Key, that's what I came over here for. We might as well tape some seals while we're on this side, right? Dong dong. There we go. Start with this one. So we have felt on the inside of the seals. That can break off and get into my work. I like taking some pieces of tape, and now we're basically tinting along a brand new non-felty seal. Let's roll this up. How dark? 40 on the windshield, 20 on the front doors, and we're going with a 5% look on the rear. So it's got factory privacy glass. We're probably just gonna layer 20 over 20. Yes, definitely to minimize dust. So on the sides here, we've got felt seals. See all that crud built up in there? I just like taping over that. So I ripped the tint off. What's the best way to get the glue off? something that you can just go buy locally. This stuff right here, LA is totally awesome. It works really well on most tint adhesive. Keep in mind, it keeps it kind of gummy. So I would use soapy water and razor blades on doors and just use that on the back window. Because we can't take razor blades over rear defrosters. That, or there's a removal solution called ATR. That's also really good. I also got my mom's Jeep Compass limited tinted. Did 35 over the factory in the back and 20 onto front doors. That's a good look for sure. Mean green. Like simple green? Why after tinting a window, it has like a rainbow color? I'm not sure. Are you wearing like polarized sunglasses? Mean green. Oh, it's an actual thing. Where's my towel? I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, for the glue. That's cool. I haven't heard of mean green. Is $540 a good price for ceramic IR all the way around? 10% on the windshield. On ceramic all the way around, we'd be right around that price. We'd be at $550. Pricing's gonna vary all over the place. I just got told this morning that I'm crazy for my pricing, so everybody's charging $300 for ceramic is what I'm told, all the way around on a Ram with the windshield. I said, okay. Like, okay, I'm crazy. And so now what? We're probably doing that shade all the way around. Yeah, I'm gonna do a short roll today. I could probably split a bigger roll, but I paid $190. Yeah, there's places all over, and if you're happy with that work, that's great. I don't know how you handle the film like that without creasing it. You can tighten the roll up and you just grip it really hard. And then you can also rest it against yourself too. That helps. Like, so I often will support it like this. And then when I'm unrolling it, I like rest it against myself and then just like unroll it. If you're paying $300, you're getting a shit job. If you're paying $500, that's cool. More often than not, you are right. And that's the thing. The lower you go, the more people that you run into that do not care. They don't have time to care. When people are priced higher, that generally speaking, means that you are getting a better film and they have more time or have earned that price to put more time or detail, or they're just more efficient at it. You know, one of those things. That's not the golden rule. That always means that is always the case with absolutely everybody. It's just, if somebody was recommending somebody very cheaply, it's like I would have hoped they would have gone there first. And then I can see the type of work that they got done. So if you get a really good price, really low price, just like make sure they're vetted beforehand. My package was not delivered. You can email us, info@313tint.com, with your order number, and we will get that fixed ASAP. What's best for sharpening a squeegee? There's a few different tools out there. I took like a bracket and a vise, and I would just trim it off with a blade. That worked pretty well. There's also something called like a fresh edge. There's card sharpeners. There's a few different ways to do it. My package came in today. Nice. Hell yeah. Glad to hear it. Why do people's tint bubble? Poor quality materials. Adhesive failure. The film itself can fail. It can change colors. There's a number of reasons like why. But if you have a t-shirt and you just leave it sitting outside in the sun, the colors are gonna fade. Not immediately, so that's why you can still walk outside, but the more sun exposure your clothing gets, the dyes fade. The sun wears that stuff out. Everything that sits out in the sun is the same way. So like automotive paints, the older that they are, they get cracked, they dry out, they fade. There's like a life expectancy on it. Same thing with window tint. Poor quality materials, they're just gonna fail really fast. They need to put stuff in the tint to make it survive being out in the sunlight. That was great. Okay, but why does my skin get darker in the sun and not my tint? Why does my tint fade and get lighter? That's a good fucking question. I don't know. I think we're all getting scammed somehow. That's comment. I don't think anybody's gonna beat that one. It's 'cause science, bitch. Does Carbon Geo, is that harder to shrink than Pro Nano? Pro Nano is a really easy shrinking film. I don't think the Carbon's harder to shrink. I think when you go up to Apex, so if you're directly comparing Apex to Pro Nano, Apex is going to shrink slower. But the C2 Carbon and ceramic, no, those will both be really good. You're gonna get more customers consistently. Get back to people very quickly when they leave a quote. Run ads. Answer the phone. Work on a sales process. And then also with the customers that you do, you should have some type You should have some type of referral system. Give them incentive to refer somebody. Give the referred person reason to come in. And get as many reviews as you can. No way, this is a replay. It's pre-recorded. This isn't real. It's all AI now. What brand of tint do you use? I use GeoShield. On this one, we're using C2 ceramic. Oh, that's actually, you're right. That's actually good proof. That's a hard one to fake. The stream is on the TV, and then we also have those comments popping up too. Ooh, that'd be really tricky. Or we're just really good at AI. See? Thanks for admitting. Yep. We did it. Do you pre-shrink every window? Yes. Do I have C2 on my car? No, I have Apex on my car. It's the step above this. Just because I'm bougie like that. They're both really good films, though. Apex just has a second layer of ceramic. It's being on the bleeding edge of window film. On the heat gun, we're using high mode. I think I got it. Yes, I do. Actually, we're like a little, yeah, you know, AI Wizard is somewhat true. We got a lot of that going on. I can show that a little later. There's another feature I wanted to test that I was working on this morning. Or improvement. Not another feature, just streamlining what we have. That's been like this whole week. Whole last week has been streamlining. When snapping, are you aiming at the bottom of the film? Yeah. So keep in mind, heat gun. There's a circle, right? So the center of that circle is going to be the hottest point. So if you have the heat gun pointed right here at the bottom, do that like halfway point is right at the bottom there. That's what you're aiming for. And you'll see when we lift this back, right? You can see where this has been shrunk. It's been shrunk right in here. A little bit higher up here, just because there's a little bit more curve right in there. But yeah, you're just tightening that up so when you snaps down to the window. When you're shrinking individual fingers, it's doing a similar thing. This just allows you to push it a little bit farther, so then it's nice and even. You're getting that tension. Yeah, you don't want any fingers to pop up. School sucks. You tell them. Ooh. Woo. Hang on. Let's put this here. I got a bit of a squirrely panel, so I'm gonna grab another towel. This is an 18. So a little bit of panel dressing is not surprising. God, that makes it 7 years old. We're gonna take the shine Gonna take the shine out of it. Just a little bit. What app or software are you using to show the feed on the TV? That's OBS. Dun, 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 dun. Is it better to remove panels or tint without removing? It's whatever risk you want to take on. If I remove the seal, there's always a little risk I might damage something. If I'm good at removing seals, there's no risk there most of the time. But it makes the tinting portion harder. So I didn't know anything about removing seals when I was first taught. I'm still tinting similarly to the way that I learned early on. So I spent like almost half of my tinting career not knowing anything about removing seals just because it wasn't ever brought up. This is just what everybody did. This is how I still do it. So if I had learned removing seals a little bit earlier on, I would probably do it a little bit more. But it's not that it's really hard to do in a lot of cases. It's just I'm so used to doing it this way that learning panels and seals, like I do it from time to time, but I just don't like ever doing it. I'd rather just keep everything as is and tint like this. But if I had a real frustrating time doing it this way, I would do it the other way. Swipe those, swipe those. Why don't you use a peel board? You still gotta order the glass. I have a frame. I gotta order a piece of glass for it. But I've always looked at it like the car. I forgot I had one of these in my tool belt. I'm gonna use it on this one. The car has always been my peel board. So, I don't know. I've always been a little surprised on people wanting to bring around peel boards. The car works great as a peel board. It's a mobile piece of glass that's the size of the window, right? I do have a glass board that I want to put on the other side of the car, namely for cutting. But when it comes to peeling patterns, dude, there's nothing that's going to keep it cleaner by doing it off of a peel board versus doing what I'm doing right now. And it's right there. So why not? Dirt's not magic. It's not going to seep through the film. Although sometimes it feels magic. Tuck that into the side there. Go over to this side, we're gonna pull this back. Slide this forward into this seal. And it's starting to get stuck somewhere. This is like, there we go. I feel like a chiropractor right there. Just trying to move it so it just pops out of the seal. Sometimes it just picks a point and it just wants to get stuck. You're like, why? Stop it. Everything else is sliding. That looks good. That looks good. Squeegee this out. Press a little harder. How long did it take you to open your shop? There we go. And roll this up. I didn't want a shop. I started tinting in 2008. Can we get it? Can we get it? Oh, we got it. Nice. Tuck this side. But yeah, for the longest time, like I honestly didn't get a shop until I absolutely had to get a shop. Getting a shop means more work. I like tinting from a house. That was great. What's your average price for the front windows? We start those at $150. It's a little high. Like we do all the sides and the rear for $300. So like those don't equal 1-to-1. The full car, like if you were to add up all the windows individually at like $150, another set of doors, you'd be at $300, right? Because I'm not trying to stack myself up with 2-door appointments all day. I'm trying to get more full cars. But that goes back to like I wasn't trying to be a shop. But if we're going to be a shop, we're going to be a damn good one. 5 years now on the weekends out of my garage. Jealous. I like that. Are you thinking of moving to another home where you can tint from a garage again? Maybe eventually. We do have classes. Those I couldn't run from home. We have a class tomorrow. Wouldn't be able to do those from home. It is a little weird having people come to your house instead, especially when people are coming to like pick up vehicles and whatnot, drop-offs. So I would just want it to be a little bit different. Basically have like a shop on property. But I don't dislike it at all. I just really like the convenience of walking out of the kitchen and there we go. It was great. What about cars with rain guards? Do cars have rain guards anymore? Does anybody live where there's like a lot of rain guards? I hardly ever see them anymore. Was this on? Let's leave that off. We should have shut that off earlier. Boom, 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 boom. Where's the shop? Detroit Tint Studio over in Sterling Heights. Next to Warren. Do you guys know that's where Eminem's from? Common windshield percentage. Our most common windshield percentage is 50, followed by 35. We're going to do a 40% windshield on this one. You know, you had the movie 8 Mile. This shop is off of 18 Mile. 10 miles away. So cool. All right. So we're using a couple different tri-edge squeegee blades. These are brand new. These are the Pros Wax series by Tri-Edge. They're my new favorites. I still have to use them a little bit more, but they are quickly becoming my go-tos over the Blue Max and the Hybrid. We have their blue one, or teal. And then I have the orange one. I just need my windshield done on my 04 Pontiac GTO. GTO windshield, I'm pretty sure that falls in line with regular pricing. $150 for carbon, $200 for C2 ceramic, and $250 for Apex. Pontiac GTO, I remember being reasonably straightforward. A little different, but for a vehicle of that era, it was pretty normal to what we see nowadays. All right, let's get this lined up nice and close. Good, good. You sell bags. If not, what do you recommend? What bags? Check out the site. Next Tuesday, I believe, is our next opening. We have a class this week and some appointments scheduled. But I want to say Tuesday. What slip solution do you use? I use a slip solution called Tint Slip. Good, good, good. Oh, look, it even turned off for you guys. Windshield, we plan up to an hour and a half. Usually in that time frame. Is it just water that you're spraying? No, it's water with a little bit of soap. The soap that we use is called Tint Slip. That helps the film slide on the windows. Yeah, a lot of people use baby shampoo. Baby shampoo depends on the film. Can I wait for the car to get done? Yeah, absolutely. We got a nice waiting room up front. What's a max reasonable time frame to finish a car? Dude, it's... Okay, there's a couple ways to look at that. One is if I'm brand new, and two if I'm trying to be a shop. So if I'm brand new, I give myself all day to work on a car. Drop it off with me. I'll have it all set by the end of the day. It took like 6 hours to tint a car my first try. That was me too. Hashtag. But if I'm a shop and I have other expenses, I'm trying to keep shit moving, up to 2 hours on all the sides and the rear, an extra like half hour, 45 minutes for the front windshield. We honestly tell people up to 3 hours without a windshield, up to 4 hours without. Now, my goal is to get that done earlier than that. But that's just what I personally tell people. Just to cover my bases. I'm at 3 hours to 4 in a car without a windshield. That's still okay. Things that you can do to pick up your speed are going to be double cutting. That's probably like the single biggest thing that you can do. It took me 10, but it would have taken half the time if I didn't take 5 hours scraping tint. That's exactly why I basically charge double my base price if I'm tinting and retinting a vehicle. How do you price removals? Removals are such a coin flip. Some of them come off super easy. A lot of them leave glue behind. The ones that leave glue behind, you can almost be assured that you might have a little piece of glue that gets in a window that you have to redo. Just keep that kind of stuff in mind. So I just do $250 for all the sides and the rear. That's definitely higher than an average shop will charge around me. But I also know I'm gonna spend at least a couple hours extra on a car if I have to do a removal. There you go. I stopped tinting because the back window was hard, but I want to start tinting again. Somebody just, after you said, if they are hard, we just break the window. What's best for removing tint? Moisture is your friend when you're trying to do a removal. So I use a steamer. There we go. So steamer, the longer you can leave the film sitting in the steamer, the better it's gonna work. But part of the headache is just getting the film off the glass. Once you get the film off the glass, then sometimes the adhesive is still left over. So my two go-to things are these. Either ATR, this is for window tint, and then LA is totally awesome. This isn't immediately for window tint, but it works super well. I just use those on back windows. The rest of the glue I just scrape off the glass. So like on all the doors, I use razor blades and soapy water. LA cleans everything, yeah. Which is why I kind of thought it was funny to use it on window tint adhesive, but there's adhesive removers that don't work as well as LA's totally awesome does. Shit's great. How long to wait before you roll down the windows? Whatever the shop tells you. In the wintertime, that can be up to a week. Summertime, a day or two. I hate removing back window tint. How long do you let it sit for? I'm impatient. I'll go in there with a steamer, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then start pulling. My main thing is just getting the glue off the window, or getting the film off the window. But it depends. If it seems like if it sits longer, it'll take the glue off, I'll just leave it and let it sit longer. But if I start pulling and it leaves glue behind, I'm just gonna get the film off and then I'll tackle the rest with an adhesive remover. Window tint removals, you just wanna make sure are worth your time. So there's a lot of jobs out there for cheap. Like you wonder like, hey, why is that car bubbled? Why did it fail? What's wrong with it? There's just a lot of cheap films getting installed. So you can do a good job with the bad film, and then the bad film will just fail. So it's not worth saving the money on sometimes. How do you protect the defroster lines? A lot of removal questions. Because it's spring now. It's that time of year. Getting your car all cleaned up, ready to go. Steamer and adhesive remover and scratch-free scrub pads. Let's go to the store. These are the little ones. These are for door windows now. Scrub-its. These are what I use. These are the pads, though, that go with them. Scratch-free scrub pads. Scotch-Brites will still work, the scratch-free ones. So if you want to just go get something today, but I like the pads that come with them, like the backing. These guys. I live in Florida, and they charge for window tinting is double what you charge. They charge double? No, I charge half, or I charge double. In Florida, and what they charge for window tinting is double what you charge. Really? I'd always hear opposite. Prices are higher up north because there's just more work down south and more installers down south. Should I shrink the other? Okay, let's go shrink the other one. I'm gonna forget otherwise. Okay. So you see this finger, this little guy. I didn't try and get a bunch of fingers at the bottom, but we have a couple. That means there's obviously a curve to this window. So we're gonna snap shrink this. I'm just gonna grab it here from this corner. I'm just gonna lift it up off the bottom until it's about 3 or 4 inches away. It's still anchored in here. So I just have this area off the window. Turn on my heat gun. Give it a couple seconds because it's heating up. And then I just hit the very bottom of that, and that starts to curl inwards. There you go, that's shrunk. If you're new to snap shrinking, you do less than you would think you need to. But you're looking for this type of, like, see how it is like this? And then it snaps down to the window. That's what you're looking for. Is it gonna say, what do I click? What do you want me to click, TikTok? I'm here. Because it'll like start doing stuff and say I'm not here, like inactive. I'm here. I learned that from somebody that had only been tinting for a year, who learned that from another shop that had been tinting much longer than me. Post a comment to show activity, maybe. I think that might be right. Should we? I'm here, TikTok. There you go. They like to just end the stream and say inactive. Sometimes they have a captcha that pops up, though, that I miss. So if the stream on here randomly ends, it wasn't me ending it. Okay, so we're gonna scrape this window. Sometimes you have to scrape off the defroster lines and just make sure the customer's okay with it. Yeah, if there's tint that is just so far gone and brittle and like thin and flimsy, like you gotta put labor numbers on your work. So you might think there's no situation where it makes sense. Like, hey, if a back window is still intact, then we can remove the film and go about our day without having to replace the back window. I've had a few and talked to quite a few people. There's some instances where it makes more sense just to replace the back window than spend the time to remove old shitty film. And it whittles down to labor hours. So some people will charge hourly to remove tint, and they'll just say, hey, however long as it takes me, we'll charge you X per hour to do a removal, and you can put a price on whatever you think that is. You can do a flat rate. I don't know. What you charge, your business. What you charge is what you charge. But I remember this Jetta that came up from Texas. The film was brown. It wasn't all bubbled, but as soon as I started to remove it, it just like super, whoa, I don't want to lose that, super flaky. And so I told the glass shop, I was like, this is probably going to take me X amount of hours to remove just the back window, And in order to get, it was on a Jetta, so in order to get to the lower parts, we have to remove the deck, and that required also removing some other shit as well. And they just looked at that and they're like, this is what I can get the glass for. Let me pitch the customer on just replacing the back window. And that's what we did. We ended up replacing the back window. Oh my God. There we go. Where's that? There we go. I hate doing removals though. When I do film like that, I crease it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's just skill. It just takes time to learn how to do it this way. And somebody asked earlier if I get pinches there. Yeah, I'll get pinches there. They heat out really easily though. And they're like in the seals. So you just don't see them. Yeah, that's normal. So you know the folding phones? You know the ones with the Galaxy Fold and whatnot? The flip? They don't do a hard crease on the film. They roll it in a way that puts less stress. And that's what you're trying to do when you're folding it. You're not folding it with a hard crease. Squeegee that out. We gotta do passenger side too. That'll be up next. Take my razor blade, save that. Wipe off our door panel. We'll pull that tape out. I love the Slim Slam. Ah, sweet. I appreciate that. I like it too. Have you done a newer F-150 with the weird bottom glass design? Like on the doors, that like S-curve? Every F-150 does that. Like in the 2000s. It's made windshields breeze. That's super cool. You can put more pressure with a better squeegee. Okay, I gotta test out a feature really quick. Okay, feature I want to try really quick. Am I still there? Or did I think this one? No. Yes, this one. Okay, I'm gonna delete this customer first. This is me. Delete. Goodbye. Calendar. Dashboard. Inbox. Inbox, what we got. Okay, here we go.
Thanks for calling Detroit Tint Studio. While I connect you to a team member, did you need a vehicle tinted or help with something else?
I needed a vehicle tinted. Hello?
Sure thing. Can I get your name real quick?
Matt?
Got it, Matt. I'll let the team know. Connecting you now. Perfect. Let me connect you now.
Ah! Fail. Fail. Oh, even this. That's not how that's supposed to be. Decline. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna see what happens.
Thanks for calling Detroit Tint Studio. While I connect you to a team member, did you need a vehicle tinted or help with something else?
Yeah, I needed a vehicle tinted.
Got it. What's the year, make, and model of your vehicle?
I have a 22 Explorer.
Perfect. Let me connect you now.
That's cool. That worked pretty well. This part needs to be fixed. It's tintly.io. Phone calling will be out, I think, this week. Phone calling's been the biggest hurdle. Like, and to be clear, phone calling works. It's everything around what we're doing with the phone calling. Say a different name? Okay, we'll do one more.
Thanks for calling Detroit Tint Studio. While I connect you to a team member, did you need a vehicle tinted or help with something else?
It already knows me. So it's not asking for my name again. So let me delete. Let me delete. See, that's how good. It's not gonna ask a name if it already knows my name. So I'll delete it and I'll do another one. It already knows you.
Thanks for calling Detroit Tint Studio. While I connect you to a team member, did you need a vehicle tinted or help with something else?
I needed help with something else.
Got it. Can I get your name?
My name's Jack.
Thanks, Jack. What's the reason for your call?
I was just having problems with my order.
Perfect. Let me connect you now.
Ooh! Oh, look at that! That's fucking cool. This is a difficult. I got? Hang on. Let me make sure we're not off of. What was that? Onomatopoeia. That's great. Yes. And look, there's people that are gonna have weird names that it's just not gonna know how to spell without asking. But here's the thing, you're not gonna know how to spell it without asking either. So you don't have to use the call screener either. Ooh, can I show you part B? All right, hang on. I gotta show you guys part B. All right. If you want to use the call screener, you can use the call screener. But I'm gonna switch it. Ugh, Jay from Triad just calling me. Hang on, I'll have to. How do I message? Call you later. There we go. Tintly. And then if I go to settings, we have shop closed mode, which is basically like, hey, after hours. So I can click this button. And now it's in shop closed mode, right? Like after hours mode, voicemail mode, whatever.
Thanks for calling calling Detroit Tint Studio. Jack, we're closed today, but I can help get you a quote or pass along a message. What can I do for you?
Ah! Fucking cool. Jack? Jack? So there's basically like a general help mode. It's AI, but it's like AI is not there to replace you. AI is there to help you with your day. So if you get a call for a 2,000 Grand Marquis, you'll see it pop up on your phone, and then you can decide if you want to take that call. Or a shipping company calls you, or whatever, right? Like somebody's got an issue. It's not going to ask them every time for every detail. Picks up the phone, whatever it doesn't know, it's going to ask, and the things that you want it to know, it'll collect. So your after hours mode, I just set it to figure out if they want a service or pass along a message. And then if we're doing a service, figure out what service that is and what vehicle that they have. So then we can give them a quote. So it'll collect that kind of stuff so you can quickly send a quote, even though you're like after hours or whatever, or away from your phone. What worked best for you when you started? I put some stuff out there on Facebook. I added Google My Business, a little bit of both. I did some paid advertising on Facebook. Dude, back in 2020, when I started this shop, ads just got a lot of people to message you, but it was still a lot of work. It was still a lot of work to actually go through, like, what kind of vehicle do you have? Like, people would just ask a lot of random shit, too. Somebody would sit there and, like, message you for half an hour and then not schedule. So there was this automation system that I found out about, and I built, like, a nice workflow. So the only time I started messaging people was when they were ready to book. It would just, like click through a thing, like, this is the vehicle, this is the starting price. Like, do you have a truck? Do you have a sedan? And then if they were like, are you looking to schedule? And if they said yes, that's when I would step in. So I noticed the same thing. We do Google ads, and we get a lot of people that are just price shoppers. And, you know, if they filled out a quote form for us, chances are they filled out a quote form for a couple other people too. So I just wanted to make everything around that as quick and easy as possible. What's the name of the program? Tintly. Tintly. So the phone calling is probably coming out this week. We wanted to release it with an app. So we have it. We have an iOS app. It's just got to go through an update this week. But you can take calls on browser too, but that's not as fun. It's fun to use alongside a browser, I'd say. So you pick up a phone call, you can still open it up on your phone and do whatever it is you have to do. Very streamlined, very easy. All right, this one's done. I feel like TikTok quit on us. Good, good, good. Very good. I like it. Looks good. All right, we gotta do the rest. Beautiful. Okay, so back 3, little quarters. Pretty straightforward. That's come all the way up to the spoiler area. I'm gonna throw this one on the plotter. 2 days. I'm gonna update later. Later. Close vehicles. We're gonna go for a 2018 Jeep Cherokee. Oh, Compass. I'm saying Cherokee all the time. This is a Compass. Ooh, there's a few different. Few different ones. I think it's these. Yeah, there's no difference on that. And then this is 2017 to 2026. Oh, I get what it's doing. 2017, 2018, 2021. All right, we're gonna run with this. This looks right. With cutout, rounder option. Ooh, those are things we need to look up. That looks like a pretty round option to me. Oh. With cutout, without cutout. Is it the same? Close. Let's do a rounder option, add, that's on the bottom. Let's do a with cutout. They both look round. Shit. I don't know. It's got the little lockness up there. Alright. Why people gotta do these? See, you cleaned up the shop. Yeah, we got a class tomorrow. Okay, so if they look identical, I'm gonna go with so if we line that up, this one has this is weird. These don't even match up very well either. Because one point, see this? That's lined up. One is drastically lower than the other one. About like a quarter of an inch. I guess this is just how it is? Or it's skewed. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Since we have film, right? Or we can do this on a 24. God damn. Which one do we pick? The one with the more people? It says 4,000. Ah, fuck it. Why not? 1K for a skid steer normal in ceramic? I don't know. I've never done a skid steer. Skid steers wouldn't surprise me though, especially if they're used. So they're gonna be like really dirty, and then you're probably gonna have to remove hardware. So it just sounds like a bigger project. Move these. C2 ceramic. Cuts tint to specific cars. How much waste does it save? I don't know. It might waste some film on this one because I'm genuinely not sure if I'm cutting out the right one. There's two different back window styles. One's the more rounder option, and they both look pretty round. So I'm going off of which one was cut out more and hoping I got the right one. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. There we go, good job. One is rounded more. Reminds me of the sometimes good and sometimes not so good. Just a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see if it fits. If it fits, it ships. Yeah, let's run an actual bet on if it'll fit or not. This one was cut out twice as much as the other one. We are tinting. So these ones, let's make sure Coach bag doesn't go missing. Looks like a face. It does. What neck mount are you using? One just like this. It's got a mag safe mount. Okay, I shrink a lot of windows. It's okay if we don't shrink those. Did that fit? Okay. It's a good sign. Good sign. It fits. Nice. Make sure all our gaps are covered. The baby squeegee. Do you scrub the dot matrix? The dots are still going to silver out no matter what. If you scrub them, if you spray them with gel, they're just going to silver. These films never curl back from it, so I'm not worried about that. That's almost dry, except for everything that's dripping. What cars do you have to remove a third brake light from? The one that I really remember offhand was a pre-2012 Fusion. Other than that, like nothing. I can't even think of a full deck that needs to be removed offhand that I've done more recently. Like a Challenger one, you can loosen it and scoot it a little bit, but I love the sound of blade scraping on glass. It's just over the dots. It's over the dots. It's fine. What percent is this? Ooh, good. I'm way over on that side. Keep in mind, I don't even know if I got the right one. This could be the more rounded one. But as long as it's bigger, we should be able to make it to fit. Where's my dots? Where's my dots? Where's my dots? Oh, all the way at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, this one's a little goofy. Yeah, I'm going to find out if this is the right pattern. This might not be the right one. I think you need a bigger shop. We kind of do. Or I need a shop that gets bigger and smaller and adjust rent accordingly every month. So like, can't take that yet. When I put the dryer sheet, the film sticks to the window even after drying for 10 or 15 minutes. So if the dryer sheet is completely dry and the film still sticks to it, like you want it to stick to it, but you also need it to float. So my question is, what film are we using and what dryer sheet? Because Snuggle works really well overall with Geo. Bounce is going to be a little less sticky. But I install a lot of Geo. Not every film is going to be perfect. Where is my shrinking card? Oh, it's right there. So we have a class coming in tomorrow. Doesn't float. I'm using chameleon film, though, from 3M. 3M doesn't make chameleon film. What dryer sheets are you using? Do you buy something off of eBay that said it was 3M? Are you sticking with $29 a month, or is the price gonna go up? Oh, on Tintly, price is definitely gonna change with phones. It has to. It's gonna be $80 a month. But I gotta double check with Mark on this. If you've already signed up and got offered a $30 a month pro plan, that was before we had phones and were doing phones. So we might be able to set up a special usage case. But don't hold me to that yet. Price of Tintly? Well, because originally it was a scheduler. And so, like, we don't want to take away an experience that people have already signed up for / already paid for, but we just didn't see much reception as just a scheduler. So we've loved doing phones, and so we took what we had with the scheduler and the quote system, and then we integrated phones into it. And phones have ongoing costs that we have no control over. Can I use Tintly if I don't have a commercial business? Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think we were going to integrate phones in the beginning, but now we have them, so that's why so many of the systems don't have phones, is they have usage, and it's hard to charge for that, and they are immensely complicated. So it's easier if you just don't do phones at all, or you just do texting. The end. Asking for a friend who isn't trying to get tagged. Yeah, I don't care what kind of... The commercial business thing with Tint software, that's with a few film cutting softwares, few plotter softwares. But the only reason that some of them started doing that is they were either trying to lock you into a particular film, or they had people stealing patterns. So they want to make sure that you're a business. So if they have to take you to court for stealing their patterns, they would. We don't have patterns. Although, maybe someday. we're never quite sure. Don't you install the see-through tint? Nah. I gotta figure out the elevator pitch for Tintly. Oh, they're about to run these. That's cool. How many are we ordering? I don't know. Have you seen those electronic tints? Oh, are you guys getting got again? So tints, tint that gets dark when you run electricity through it is a thing, but it's not really a thing, which is the annoying part. There's no way around it. You have to run a current through it. It's called electrochromic tint. Or I should say there's a couple ways of doing it. Electrochromic tint is typically frosted. There might be something that's dark and just regular looking at this point, but there's nothing that's out for consumers. Not really. It'd be very like special / expensive situations. Speaking of adhesive remover, I need to use some. I got these. These are the worst. They're unnecessary. The fresh smell of ETR. There we go. That seems good. Why do new tints get bubbles? Because you bought cheap ones. Bad materials. They just fail quickly. You can just have a lot of different like grades and qualities of film. So on day 1, a window film can look really good. On day 100, which is what, less than 4 months, they can fade and bubble. So you just want to make sure you get something that's made to last. I'm finna tint my car. Give me some tips. I finna tint. I don't know, watch the video. Ask when needed. What causes the tint to smudge when applying? Depends on how well the film slides along the window. So when I'm moving it into place from point A to point B, if a spot grabs the glass, because you have pressure-sensitive adhesive, there's a chance that it can smudge. Just depends on the film. Sometimes the little smudge spots genuinely disappear. Sometimes they don't. Do you do anything else other than tint? We're a tool and film distributor. We do that. And I guess videos, maybe. We make some tools here. I just got a UV printer, that's fun. And software. I think we qualify for that at this point. All right. Can you demo the new Wax Pro blade? We've been using it this whole time. This whole car's been a demo for it. They're super nice. I'm a big fan. They had a series that came out last year. I gotta get an exact date on that. But it was around last year-ish. And they were always like, they were okay. I said I still like the Blue Max and the Hybrid better. They were perhaps a little better than the Flat Out. This Wax series, no, this Wax series, super nice. Huh, I think it'll fit. So the ones we've been using today, the medium teal, and then the softer orange. Super nice blades. I just use what I like. So, spent a long time working on an injection molded one. That was the version right before this. It's about a year ago. These ones are made differently. No injection molding. Super nice blades. Got a little bit of a finger here. Make sure that's pressed out. It's possible I just grabbed the bigger pattern than I needed. So I'm gonna have a little bit more to touch up on the ends. If I have a finger here on the side, I'm not shrinking it. I'm just warming it up. Trying to get the water to dry out and the glue to tack up. Looking good. Where's the other guy? There it is. Are the metals of the defroster in the way? No. No, you can tint straight over those. They'll still work afterwards. Life carries on. There we go. Shop square footage. Shop square footage is 4,000 square feet. Probably a little bit more than that. Yeah, 4,400, I think. Because when we moved in, it was 3,400, and then we built a loft. Why leave a gap? What gap? We don't like gaps. All right, windshield. How many back windows did it take you to be really good? It's hard to say. I didn't feel competent in like most situations that I would run into regularly until about like I was a year into it. And even then, dude, I'm always learning new stuff that I would have never thought of. So you're just ever evolving as a tinter, but the first year is difficult. Yeah, back windows are tough. Is it shrinking specifically or just insulation? Why do I have a bottle of adhesive remover? I don't need that on my hand. I need a towel. Gonna get this prepped. Gonna look at the other windows we just tinted. Make sure that those are all nice and well. This can go back. Let's grab another towel. Your videos has helped. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Can an average guy tint his windows if he buys pre-cuts? On average, probably not. But if you pay attention to the details, some people just have a good knack for it. I had a guy that I tinted his windshield. Oh, I want to keep that one there. I had a guy who tinted his windshield, and I checked out his front doors. He had never tinted before, and he did a great job. And he's just like, yeah, I just watched some videos. Like, really? Was it? Nice. I'm average AF. Well, don't take that too poorly. I definitely didn't catch on quickly. I just stuck with it. Should I pay to do tint classes, or should I just watch videos? Start with watching videos. Classes are very helpful. We do classes. Where's my... I'll put a dash towel in here. Start getting this windshield prepped. Ooh, seat covers too. We should do seat covers. Yeah, tinting's just a tough thing to learn. Can I borrow a few customers? You gotta convince the customers. Everybody tries to borrow everybody's customers. Customers will call around. You gotta work on selling them. I've been trying to figure out how to set up a multicam GoPro setup with a high quality while having complete control over each camera angle while allowing the viewer to choose their own angle. You sound like me. You want the biggest real piece of advice that's going to be disappointing? Just do a vertical phone on TikTok and YouTube. The end. Multi-camera experiences sounds, like I said, it sounds like me. It sounds super fun to tackle and do. But that kind of experience would have to be hosted on your own site. Unless you're using multiple. No, you could stream. You could stream multiple YouTube instances. So you can have one channel now and multiple live streams going to the same channel. So that is a thing. And then you could link in the description to each one of those video feeds that people could click through. That's not as seamless and as fun, but that still gets you on a platform. So it wouldn't be possible at any streaming services. No, not really. They're all one video feed at a time. You could do multiple cameras in one feed, but the user has no flexibility over selecting a camera. Ooh, that's just like the other one we took out the other day. Do we have scissors? Are they back here? Do I get a knife? Might have to do a knife. I don't like doing a knife. As I spy the TikTok air freshener, I thought you should sell a Detroit one. Only, you know, it's like nobody would buy it. And then it's like only if in the same thought, I was like, only if we can get real Detroit smell. We'll go to 8 Mile and we'll bottle up 8 Mile in a bottle, obviously. Oh, I do have scissors. No music while you work? Not on YouTube. Oh, that scared me. You pain in the ass. A pair of scissors being too thick is not something that I thought I would say. But that pair of scissors is too thick. Yeah, if you want to like ensure your video doesn't get viewed and get flagged very quickly, then you start streaming music on YouTube. Even copyright-free music is a pain in the ass because it might not be a problem today, but it's a problem tomorrow. The music gets bought. Just cut the wires. Yeah, that's what I'm nervous of. Let's not do that. I don't know what it is. Rams, Cherokees, Compass, they take zip tie and plug it to the mirror. It's annoying. It doesn't need to be there. But the mirror comes off. The harness unplugs. It's not hard to take that off. But then it just wants to dangle. Unless you do that. Most of the time, the only tool that I have on me for cutting is a razor blade. It's like, shit. I've actually sliced into my hand by removing one of those before. It's hard to get the right angle. So in reality, you can do a multicam stream with 6 GoPros and have a complete control over each camera using OBS. Holy, my guy. Let me just say, you are going to spend way more time trying to get those cameras to connect to anything unless you're doing HDMI outs. Then you got to maintain batteries. So you got to swap them out every hour. There's just no good way to do it like that. It sounds fun, though. Yeah, GoPros die instantly. They got about an hour of streaming life, but actually don't get GoPros because they overheat. You go get a bunch of Osmo Actions. But you need to stream to... You need to have each one of them stream either directly to YouTube which I don't know if you can just keep sending streams from the GoPros to YouTube. But the other way that they stream is via RTMP. And I have 2 RTMP to HDMI boxes. I don't know why. The phones that I'm using, they'll stream fine. Osmo Action 4, 5. Haven't tried the 6 yet. For whatever reason, just I have not been able to get them to work. They'll stream, but it'll be in like some weird slow motion thingy. Does she have a chip in this? Oh, that's a nasty one. Hang on. I gotta make a phone call. I didn't see that until we got this all cleaned up, but now I need to have a talk. Oh, but the other thing you can do is HDMI out, but then you need an HDMI transmitter. HDMI transmitter is going to be the most reliable. Eesh. That one's really bad. That one's like spidered out. All right, where's my customer? This one. Oh, that's annoying. Hang on. Is it working? I do so many inbound calls. Sorry. One sec. Oh, there we go. Hey, this is Matt from Detroit Tint Studio. Hey, we're just about to get started on your windshield. We got it all cleaned off, and we noticed a pretty bad rock chip towards the bottom. We can still tint it. There's with the little, like, they call them like spider legs coming off of it. They're pretty thin, and they're starting to like spread outwards. It's always hard to say if they're going to spread any farther than that because they're like really, really thin. But there's a chance that it's just going to get worse. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. That's why I wanted to call you first. Okay, no problem. So we'll hold off on doing the windshield. I actually have the rest of it completely done. So I'll button up the windshield and get the vehicle cleaned up, and it'll be all set to go. Yeah, no problem. Bye. And that's why you talk to your customers. Something that I wish I noticed a little bit earlier, but I would much rather have that cleared off ahead of time. So we're gonna get this buttoned up. Unfortunately, we are not moving forward with tinting a windshield today. People are different. Some will just tell you, go for it. Yeah, I know, but she's gonna get it fixed first and then come back. That's something I would have... She ended my stream early. I know it. There we go. Yeah, a more thorough walking around the car. It's not great to find it at that point, but windshield was fairly dirty. It's just sometimes one of those things that you make assumptions. Try and never make too many assumptions. Oh no. Now the extra fun part. It would have saved me minutes of dealing with this housing. Damn you, Jeep Compass engineer. Okay, there we go. We got it. Well, she's gonna have a nice clean windshield. But yeah, talk to your customers like people because they're people. I did one of these with a six-speed manual. Oh, really? Heck yeah. Manuals are awesome. That'd be fun. She ended my stream early. Is front tint not illegal? No, it's still illegal. It depends on your state laws, though. But it can be completely legal in the right states if you have a doctor's note. So check with your local state laws. Michigan is one of those states. Perfectly legal with a note. It's an old law. It's never really changed. That's actually a good thing. I used to think it was a really stupid law. It still is it still is a dumb law. But if it goes up for change, it might get worse, so. Who knows? Will it help with the glare at night? Yeah, tint definitely helps with that. Personally, I hear different things from customers. Some swear by 50 and 70 dramatically helping. I feel like you have to go a little darker than that, like a 35, for it to feel like a light pair of sunglasses. So we got a little fold there. Zoop. A little bit of heat. We'll take care of that. There, it's gone. I went to the inside on that one because I can get to them. Those seals have so much space. Just got your spray keg and I'm excited to use it. Hell yeah. They're awesome. Big fan of those. Do you sell the hose and sprayer separately? No. The hose is inside the keg. It comes as one thing. Open her up. It's all nicely like wound up in there. Alrighty, dudes. This one is all set. I did my windshield in 70 and used the extra on my side mirrors. It really helped with the glare. Oh, interesting. There's a less known product, and I don't know who makes it, other than it might be Chinese. Like, I don't know. But you can get blue mirror film. So like the self-tinting mirrors will go to like a blue color. They do have films that you can buy for that. I've never used them though, but that's cool about the 70. Mirrors haven't really been much of a discussion because a lot of them really do. They just like self-tinting. I know there's vehicles that still don't. Oh, maybe. Maybe that would work. I'm thinking. So I had this idea a little while back, and I gotta end the stream, but I had this idea a little while back of having like a template system for mirrors. And I think on Etsy there was somebody that was selling the cutouts for some of them. But you might be able to get a template system going pretty easily. But there's so many varieties for different vehicles, or for the same vehicle, that it can be a little confusing to figure out like exactly which templates that you need. But in this day and age, you might be able to do your own pattern software for mirrors. It's probably forgiving enough to take a picture of it, convert it into a vector, and then trace out, and then pop it into software. You just got to get a hold of the mirrors, which then you could do with like some mirror replacement program or whatever. Or like you'd have to buy like the actual mirror replacement for it. Alrighty. Sounds fun. A lot of work. All right, I got to take off. You guys have a good one. We have a class tomorrow, so we may be streaming some from that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Bye.